Pregame.com.
Okay, guys, I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined with Stephen Nover. This is our fun segment of the week. It's the Rants of the Week. There's no free picks here. If you're looking for free picks, check out the other videos. This is Stephen and I getting some stuff off of our chest. Stephen, what's irking you this week? Who's your a-hole of the week?
Does it ever pay off to be a stubborn moron?
Sometimes.
Sometimes is the correct answer, which brings me to Mike Brown, the Bengals owner. A moron? Yes. Stubborn? Yes. He gets potentially two number ones for Carson Palmer by being a stubborn moron. It was obviously that Carson Palmer was not going to play for the Bengals this year. He was going to stay retired. Mike Brown said, I will not deal him. I think any other owner, GM, would have dealt Palmer if he was offered a second or third round pick, because Palmer hasn't been good since his knee surgery 4 years ago.
When the Steelers took him out.
Yes, when your Steelers took him out. He hasn't, in fact, he's not even been mediocre. He's been below average. Brown holds out, finds some sucker desperate team in the Oakland Raiders. They give up a number one and a potential number one in the following year, in 2013, if they make the playoffs or win a playoff game.
Win a playoff
At
game.
worst, it'll be a number two. A 1 and a 2 for Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer, if he's any better than Jason Campbell, which is an argument, is just maybe a slightly better. The Raiders, they couldn't address and I agree with the Raiders, they could not go with Kyle Bowler and expect to remain competitive, but there was other avenues. There was Kyle Orton. He would be just as good as Carson Palmer, and he'd have to give up far less, to just give up that. And I think, Marco, the teams that are going to be really mad with this move are going to be teams that really need a quarterback. Miami, Seattle, the Redskins, they need a future quarterback. Practically every other team in the NFL either has a very good quarterback or has a potentially good quarterback sitting on their bench that they're going to bring along. For instance, Tennessee with Jake Locker, Minnesota with Christian Ponder. But these three teams really need a quarterback. So they're all hoping Andrew Luck, comes their way. They can't get him, that they'll probably talk to the team that has the first draft pick and try to make an offer. Well, that offer just shot way up, since now the going rate, potentially two number ones for Carson Palmer. What do you think you're going to get for Andrew Luck now?
Well, it's definitely, supply and demand. Oakland needed somebody, but I don't know. When you open this up as stubborn moron, you really could have went either way, though. I mean, let me jump in for a second. Carson Palmer had a contract to play with the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's not forget that part of the equation. Mike Brown, I agree with you. He's been an idiot running the Bengals.
Most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL, would you go with that?
No question about it. And I can't blame Carson Palmer for wanting to get out of that dysfunctional family.
Yes.
But he was under contract. Sometimes I've got problems with these athletes that, they're prima donnas. They want their contracts renegotiated. I mean, this is worse. This is a guy who doesn't want to honor his contract, period. But, you get all these guys that have a great year, and then they want to go back and say, you know what? All that you wrote me on paper doesn't bode well. I outperformed what you thought I could do. I want more money.
Chris Johnson.
Yeah. So then, you get a new contract. But why does it not happen the other way when the guy, that's fine. If you want to do it that way, let's play it, make it a two-way street. Yeah. Let the owner be able to come back after you're all fat and sassy in the next year, you don't play well. I would think the Philadelphia Eagles should have a right at the end of this year to go to Michael Vick and say, you know what, I don't think that contract was all so good. Let's renegotiate that. It should go both ways. That would have been like, me last year when I had my baseball winning streak going into RJ and Reed and said, I want a new deal. We had those. It don't work that way. Professional athletes are the only ones that it's all for them. And we'll see what Carson Palmer does. He's going back to his old stomping grounds. We'll see. Playing in the Coliseum. How do you feel? Well, first of all, Kyle Bowler, what does that say about your talent level? Because the reports I'm getting out of Oakland, they're actually thinking about starting Carson Palmer on Sunday. They're going to see how practice goes.
I think he does start, yeah.
how can you not have taken a snap all year? I mean, it wasn't even in a camp. You know, sometimes, you know, at least you got guys that were released out at the start of the season. This guy has not taken a snap of football since last year.
It's called give the ball to Darren McFadden.
Me personally, I would have thought they would have dressed him for an emergency, got him, split the snaps with him this week to, you know, get him. You go into the bye week next week, then you bring him out and start him off to the bye. That's me, but...
Well, there's also a touch of irony here. I mean, Carson Palmer obviously got fed up with the circus in Cincinnati, dealing with those head cases. So what organization does he go to? Oakland. There's no head cases there?
Yeah, I can't argue that.
So at the end of this year, does he say, okay, I'm through, I'm not playing for Oakland anymore?
Yeah.
You know,
see him trying to walk out of the Coliseum through the black hole and saying, I don't want to play here anymore. They'll carry him out in a body bag. All right, that's your, I can't argue with it. You know, I think you could almost go either way with the a-hole there, but definitely unbelievable deal. Mine is and I don't want this to get into a political thing, but I've always liked Bryant Gumbel as, you know, a broadcaster.
Yeah,
I always thought, you know, the guy integrity-wise and everything. I'm a little, it saddened me to see him play the race card in this NBA labor dispute, the way he did on Real Sports the other night. I just, you know, making references to, you know, David Stern and a plantation owner and stuff, I just think it was just totally off the charts. When you have that kind of audience, you know, I mean, he got that audience because of his body of work. You know, he's always been a great journalist and everything else, and reporting the facts. And then to use that platform to take a shot like that, I just thought it was unfair.
Well, I like Brian Gumbel, too. I've liked him in everything he's done except being an NFL play-by-play announcer. But, yeah, I thought he was off base on this, and I usually agree with his commentary. And to his credit, he gives strong commentary. He's interesting to listen to, which not many guys are. But I thought he was way off base. If you want to use that reference, hey, you can pay me the least amount of salary any NBA player makes, and I'll be a plantation slave, you know, for that kind of money. I mean, that's... The money these guys make, and he, I guess, alluded to the dress code that David Stern had. These people have to know their target audience. You know, a lot of these people that buy tickets that can afford tickets to the NBA, they're corporate, button-down corporate types. They don't like that kind of dress and that. You know, if you're going to get paid that kind of money, then you should at least toe the line. You don't want to toe the line? Fine. Go play in Europe. Go play somewhere else. Don't play in what should be the premier traditional great league that the NBA has been in the past.
Is David Stern an authority freak? Yes. I mean, he's run this league. He's probably the most dominant commissioner, you know, we have of the major sports. I mean, he's right there front and center all the time. A lot of controversy, but one thing you've got to say, the NBA removed what's going on right now because of the labor thing. Prior to this, the NBA is at its highest popularity that it's ever been. I mean, the NBA, you know, the marketing, merchandising, the teams, the ratings, we've got, you know, superstars in the league. How many times there, for how many years we kept waiting, we need another Michael Jordan to save the league. We got Michael Jordans all over the league right now. You know, Kobe Bryant, you know, LeBron James, you know, Dwayne Wade. I mean, there's so many superstars in this league. This league is at the highest point it's ever been. Let's give him some credit for that. You know, I don't agree with everything David Stern's done, but I think that was just an ill-advised shot. It was a cheap shot, and it shouldn't have happened on that platform. That's my a-hole of the week. That's the rant. Would like you to jump into forums, guys. We have all of our videos in one mega thread at Pregame. Comment on the pick videos, the rants, anything you guys want to talk about. And we're going to, all of the guys involved in the videos, myself, Steven, Brian Leonard, Vegas Runner, we're all going to stop by the thread. If you guys have questions, we'll comment on our videos and help you guys out. And we want to hear from you. This is why we do these videos. So if you like them, go in, tell us about it. You got a question, ask it, we'll go in and answer it. I'm Marco D'Angelo. He's Stephen Nover. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching, guys.